My mother, Elizabeth, was born into a large family in 1930. They lived in a Yugoslavian village called Bananski Brestovac, a farming community with a small German populace who lived quietly amid their Serbian neighbors. She attended school learning in both Serbian and German, and despite only attending school until grade 5, she loved to read and pretend. To amuse herself, she spent hours playing with pumpkins in their yard, lining them up in rows, imagining that they were her students. My mom's life radically changed during World War II when Germany and the Soviet Union invaded Yugoslavia. When the Red Army arrived during the fall of 1944, they rounded up all the Yugoslav Germans and either conscripted them, forced them into prison camps, or sent them into labor camps. My mother and her family were imprisoned at a Serbian labor camp. There she attempted several harrowing escapes. She and her family suffered from lack of food, flea infestations, sickness, death, and other hardships. Finally, after acquiring false identities and bribing border guards, she escaped and found safety at a refugee camp in Austria. Eventually, she managed to get to England, where she taught herself English and became a nurse. Her family, exiled from Yugoslavia, were granted citizenship in Germany. My mother, desperate to leave the aftermath of war and armed with her nursing skills, was able to immigrant to Canada. Her career took her to Whitehorse and on to Prince George, where she met and married my father, James, who was an American black man working and living in Canada. Their marriage in 1960 was a daring and very unusual event in the era of American civil rights. Her parents were not accepting of the marriage. Fortunately, there were no laws in Canada prohibiting interracial marriages, as there were in many southern states, whose laws remained in force until the late 1960s. Soon after their marriage, my father, suffering from wanderlust, dragged our family over a 10-year period from Winnipeg to several different American cities. Tired of the many moves and my father's antics, she decided to settle in Winnipeg with my sisters and I in tow. She started a new life as a single mother and showered us with love and guided us to become strong, independent women. Her strength and ability to overcome her hardships has taught me by example to be resilient in my own battles. And although my mother wouldn't agree, she is a very intelligent, kind, and creative woman. Despite fighting breast cancer and other difficulties, she has forged new paths to create a satisfying life for herself and my sisters.